A few days ago, this message popped up on my Google, apps news, and it got me really sad. Very sad, if I might say. And I got asking the question, and of course, doing some research as well. Can a UK sponsor refuse to give an employee a reference? And if they can, is it right? So, what actually happened, Kes, that made you want to do this story? It was because a gentleman came to the UK, to work as a carer, only to have that dream dashed. So, what happened? My name is Kesienaakwaraatie, a health and social care trainer. To all my returning subscribers, thank you all so much. You are honestly and truly appreciated. And hey, to all my awesome mentees, love you guys so much. And remember that you're always in my thoughts and prayers, okay? And excellence is your portion, all right? Hey, if you're just coming across this channel for the first time, hello there, welcome to this great family where I talk about everything care. All right, and you can be a part of us. Why not? And how do you do that? Smash the subscribe button. Yeah, give me a thumbs up, like the video, and don't forget to click on that all important notification bell. So whenever I upload a new video, you will be among the very first to know. Freely connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Care by Cares, and I'll see you there. So what happened? Now this gentleman came to the UK, sold his car, properties, left his job, came to fulfill a lifelong ambition, which was to be a carer. He was working for this sponsor. And of course, his working condition was not favorable. So he dared to complain about his working conditions. And subsequently, his sponsor sacked him. Fair enough, no worries. That this gentleman, knowing fully well that if you are sacked as a skilled worker in the UK, you have 60 days to look for another sponsor or you have to leave the country. So luckily, he got another sponsor and went back to his old sponsor to say, could you please give me a reference? And that one, for whatever reason best known to them, refused to give him a reference. And of course, he couldn't continue. He had to go back to his home country. As I speak to you, he is back in his home country, depressed. I mean, his whole, lifelong ambition to be a UK carer has been dashed, has become a nightmare, unfortunately. Now, my question is it right? Now, no matter what that gentleman had done to that sponsor, as far as we know, he complained about working conditions. It wasn't right, to me, my own opinion, it wasn't right for them to refuse to give him a reference. It wasn't right at all. Now, let's say he was so bad. Let him go. The next place he goes to, he will do something else if he doesn't learn from his first experience, and he'll be fired again. And it's all going to work against him or her. Why would you then refuse to give him or her a reference? It is not right. But then again, I decided to ask myself, do some research. I went on the government website, www.gov.uk, to find out, is it right? And then I saw this lovely caption, reference your rights. Now, it says there that legally, under the government employment law, that an employer can refuse to give you a reference. But if they do, you can contact ACAS. Now, ACAS stands for Advisory, Conciliation, and Arbitration Services. Now, when you contact them, they will tell you to, ask somebody, or better still, ask your would-be employer if they'll be willing to collect, a reference from somebody who knows you well, who has worked with you. If they're accepting of that, then fine, go ahead. But one thing the government website does say is that, contract clearly states that you should not be denied a reference. Then you have a leg to stand on as to why they will not give you a reference. When it says clearly on your, contract letter or contract offer that they should give you a reference if for some reason you have to leave their employment. So for those of you who are yet to come into the UK or are planning to come into the UK, please go back to your contract letters and find out there if it is clearly stated there that you'll be given a reference if for some reason you will have to leave the employment of your sponsor. If it doesn't, I beg of you, clarify with your sponsor first before you come into the UK and find yourself in the same ship as this gentleman found himself. Now, also at this point, I will be recommending to every single one of you out there to go and join a union. Yes. Why? Because this is not the first time. I mean, somebody came into my DM or to say to me, oh, please, I am depressed. This is going on in my life. Why? They raised their concerns, their working conditions to their employer. And guess what? They were fired. What was the concern they raised? Oh, that they were working 7 days a week straight up. And the employer sacked them. It is not right. Yes, they might say that the law says, yes, they can. They don't have to. If it's not stated in their, contract, I know that. But it's not right. Right at all. Now, I used to be a recruiter before I became a trainer. Okay. Now, one of those things we normally do, particularly for those, who maybe were in some kind or are in some kind of, sensitive positions at work because they don't want their employers to know that they are looking for work outside. They will say to us, listen, I don't want my employer to know I'm looking for another job or an agency work. Please don't contact them. So what we normally do is that we'll ask for their 3 months current pay slips. And then with that, we can now decide if we want to take them on or not. So at this point, I'm also pleading. Look at my hands, they're together. I am pleading to every single sponsor out there. If your employees want a reference, please give it to them. I've got friends who have, who are sponsors as well. And they say to me, listen, Kes, I tell my employees, if you want a reference, come, I will give it to you. Go and do your 20 hours out there. Why? Listen, who will leave you will leave you. You cannot tie anybody down. If they want to go, let them go. If they are badly behaved, hey, good riddance to bad rubbish, let them go. But you cannot keep people down like that. It's not right. Now, as a result of all of these, I was opportune to meet somebody who works with a modern, day slavery charity. And I was chatting with this individual and I said, listen, people are going through a lot. What can we do to help? And this individual says to me, okay, I'm going to give you a link. And then you let them have it. So look out for my next video where I'll be sharing with you the link and what that Modern Day Slavery Act 2015 talks about. Okay? And until I see you in my next video, please and please and please take good care of yourselves. And remember that no matter what the matter is, you matter. Your mental health matters so much more. Au revoir.